Ivan Pavlov was a Russian physiologist that you might remember learning about in school. Pavlov did an experiment where he needed to collect drool from dogs. He noticed the dogs would drool in the presence of food. This was an instinctual response. The dogs didn't choose to drool, it just happened. Pavlov began to pair the dog's food with a bell. The dogs did not respond to the bell in any particular way at first. But after several meals fed this way, dogs began to drool when they just heard the bell, even when the food wasn't present. The new response that was created to the bell was called a conditioned response. Just like an instinctual response, the dogs did not choose to drool when they heard the bell, but because of the classical conditioning between the bell and the food, the dogs responded accordingly to the bell without even choosing to. We can use the power of creating a conditioned response to make our dog's response to particular cues basically automatic. And instead of a bell, we'll use a clicker. To pair the food and the clicker together, we're going to use our dog's meals. I'm putting some of my dog's meal in my pocket for this training exercise, and we're also going to need our clicker. The first step is to toss a piece of food away from us. We're going to wait for the dog to stop chewing that piece of food before we click and present them with a nice handful of their kibble from our hand. You can see in this rep that I needed to use a little bit of kissy sounds to get my dog's attention because she doesn't have an initial response to the clicker. We're going to just repeat that process of tossing one piece out, waiting for the dog to be done chewing, clicking, and presenting a nice handful from our hand. Good boy. The power of the clicker is creating automatic, instinctual, or conditioned responses to the clicker so that our dog is responding with lots of enthusiasm and power. We can use this power to create the same response in other behaviors like coming when called, and even to keep our dogs from pulling on a leash.